My current role, I am presently a data science consultant working with Tata Consultancy Services. I joined this company 9.5 years back. So within the next year, it will be a decade of experience for me in this company. My last job profile was that of a data scientist, and previous to that, it was as a senior data engineer in the same company for a different project. To a data scientist role was a very organic one for me. I was very interested in data. I have seen data at work, and I, for that reason, have completed my master's. I'm an MBA in business analytics. So I have seen what data can do, and I was immediately drawn to it. And I knew that this was going to be something inside me. It was an intuition. And I think I have always trusted my intuition. And I started my research, and I checked online, checked places, and people who were credible enough to give a very viable scenario of the market and the opportunities, because I was already having 7.5 years of experience when I wanted to switch to a data scientist role. So you can understand that it was a very big jump for me. So I did the research, I made all the connections, and I saw that no, this is a very viable career option. And as a business analytics MBA student, I had seen the wonderful ways where in which data was impacting business worldwide, right? In made so that your businesses were making informed decisions, which were previously not that much looked upon. So it was a very exciting field to be in. So that is the reason I chose on that very day that I would become a data scientist one day, and that has been my calling, which has extremely been supported by insight. That goes without saying. So data science program had come just out of the blue, where I was, even after my master's in business analytics, I found that the practical side of the approach of handling data was missing, because it was all very theoretical. It was all very functional for me. Just to give an example, right? So I didn't know what the actual market was, what people were actually using in their fields, in their day-to-day activities. So I wanted a hands-on experience on that, and that's where I got a wonderful joiners session. First time beginners joiners session. A very interesting viewpoint that was brought onto the table. I understood a few of them, and of course, did not understand a lot, but it drew me. And then I thought that no, I had the confidence of moving on and putting myself onto the platform and committing. The important factor of this one was committing to that program, because it has been a real roller coaster, right? uh, we had to do so many things. We were responsible for so many things: the assignments, the studies, the classes which happened in the weekend. It was packed. So I was committing not only my not only the money, but far more important thing, my time, my focus, my energy, apart from my you know regular day-to-day activities at office. That was a challenge, and I think that it has been great. So my that decision I took based on that class and the beautiful lectures that were given, I think it actually, my intuition again, like, it told me that this is going to be good, and I can tell you that it has been very, very, very good. The selection procedure in my company was a very, very tight one. It was a very hard one. Um, there is no shame in admitting that I had given over 7 interviews for this position. And on all these 7 interviews, I had understood just one basic thing, that I lacked what they were looking for. And it was rigorous. And not only that, people asked me this also, that it was in your own company, so it wouldn't have been that easy. It would have been that easy, but actually no. If you understand the corporate structure, every silo is different, and there is no recommendation or anything there, because you need to get your hands dirty, you need to work. Okay, nobody will come and work, so they expect you to know things before starting that position. And that has been a challenge, because they have asked questions left and right, like the questions that I think right now I know how to answer, but previously I did not. So it was very difficult. Like they were hiring externally too, but they preferred someone internal. But that does not mean they would just allow anybody. After those 7 interviews, I had a discussion with Suchit, and I think he refined the process of preparation. That was an important shift for me. I was preparing a lot, I was reading a lot, I was doing all the things that were necessary. But Suchit actually refined that process of how to, gear up for an interview mentally and on a technical perspective. That actually helped me to crack my eighth data science interview, where they were really impressed. I have told this a number of times, and I'll tell it again. Like those same people who refused to take me before, after I went into the role, I am working with them, and like they're amazed, like to see me work, and they tell me day in and day out that we didn't think you were data scientist material when we took your interview. So I think it's that perspective, it's that mindset. It's about not giving up. That what made the selection process go for me or work for me. Questions pertaining to Python were paramount. Okay, tuples, dictionaries, differences between list and a dictionary, other data frame related questions, anonymous functions. So these are things that the Python language has in its arsenal for usage for a data engineer or a data scientist or whatever. These are tools that you use day in and day out. And I was asked an immense amount of questions on that, a very good amount, hefty amount, at least around 40 to 45% of my questions were, and regarding Python and its application. The other half of the questions were on the data science front. Now, on the data science front, I was asked questions on supervised algorithms like logistic regressions. And on the unsupervised side, I was asked on KNN. There were few interviewers who went into detail of a gradient descent, how it's calculated, what are the different optimizers that are used, what is the difference between them. So those are very challenging actually. If you do not go into the detail of what you are studying, then those questions would be very difficult to answer. So, and the ending was actually a little bit on the business side, because as I told you, and I'm an MBA, and they are looking for people who can explain the explainability of data science or AI models to the customer. That is also a very important factor that these people are looking for. So I was asked questions on business front about how to handle stakeholders, uh, how to plan out a data science activity, if I'm given an end-to-end role, how to chart the progress, etc., etc. This question I don't know how to answer, because INSEAD's program is one of the sole contributors to my success, because I think there are many factors underlying that, but I can name a few. The wonderful faculty, they have always been at our side and have always helped us throughout. The nice and very quick responding academics team, whenever I had a doubt, I had reached out to them and they have always answered my query. Uh, Other than that, there are specialists. I remember I created a kind of a GUI application in Python, and I asked the academic teams to evaluate them. They had set me up with a specialist, and he gave me pointers as to what I should have done or what I should not have done. So that was insanely helpful for me. And also, apart from all this, the guidance I have received from Suchit and Manav have been paramount to my success. To the data science beginners, the most important advice that I should provide is, please be patient. Patience is the key here. When you start learning something, it's very natural to falter because you don't know that if you're going on the right track or not. So it is very important to have patience. The second important factor is perseverance. While you are failing, don't consider that what people are telling you or your own, you're thinking that should you be good for it or should you be not. Remember one thing, it takes around 5 years uh, for a Jawan, an army Jawan, to get trained and go into a position in the battlefield. So for you, if you are learning data science or anything in that matter, that that perseverance will help you grow. If you do not have that perseverance and patience, I think you'll give up everything because everything will sound tough. So that is the second most important aspect and advice. Third important aspect, or the third important advice I would like to give data science beginners is stick to your curriculum and practice. I remember what Suchit used to tell us during the initial days, that if you do not practice, all this will look like a film to you, which you are seeing, and after you close your system, it will be an obscure memory. So if you do not practice, you will not apply what you have learned. And in data science, application is everything. So if you don't practice whatever has been taught, then there is no way that you will remember everything that has been talked about, and that will make you lose your touch. So please keep on practicing. So patience, perseverance, and practice, 3 P's are always what will give you an edge over anybody else, and these three things have to be your by your side always, every day, whenever you are there, whatever you are there, learn, go through blogs, go through the latest developments. Suchit keeps on reminding us, all our faculty, Subodip, even Dipesh, Lavi, whoever are there in INSEAD, every faculty keeps us advising to see new developments, see new trends, because that is what attracts you into this genre. That is what gives food to your brain to think like. So that is important. That should be kept in mind. Thank you so much for letting me share my story. Um, I think I am thankful to INSEAD and my wonderful cohorts. I have learned so much from them. INSEAD was always inspiring, but more inspiring were my cohorts, whom I have seen bloom into wonderful data scientists. I have been in touch with a lot of people who are in a much higher perspective of the corporate infrastructure than me, looking at a problem through their eyes, understanding a solution through their eyes and their perspective, their understanding was really, that has really opened doors for me. I look at a problem in a very, very different perspective now. I think that is the edge that I have got in this inside journey, to be in with this group of like-minded people who strive for excellence. And my story, I think, reflects only one thing, that even if you are down and dusted and you think that all is or not, and there is nothing else to do, at that moment get up, okay, and start walking, and then start running. And remember, you will fall again, because it is bound to happen. But then again, get up, start walking, and then start running again, because this recursion is the way of life. Thank you.